Welcome to this audio guide for using the Purple Passport at CUH. This audio guide provides the same information as is in the guidance for individuals and guidance for managers for the Purple Passport for those who prefer to listen rather than read. What is the Purple Passport? The Purple Passport is a tool to support health and wellbeing at work. It provides space for an individual to record any information they would like to share about a visible or hidden disability, a physical, neurodiverse or mental health condition, and anything they need in the workplace to support them to perform their role. This passport belongs to the individual. They own it and can take it with them as they move through different roles within CUH and the wider NHS. The passport aims to facilitate an open and honest conversation between an individual and their line manager about their health and wellbeing. This helps create a shared understanding of any health concerns, issues affecting work, and any adjustments that are needed. Any information shared by an individual must be kept confidential and not made available to anyone else without the individual's permission. Using the passport is completely voluntary, and an individual can choose how much information they want to share. Individuals should have the opportunity to review the information in their passport with their line manager at least annually, in an appraisal or one-to-one, to ensure that they are receiving the best possible support. The Purple Passport is not a legal document, although it does help CUH meet its legal obligations to our staff as outlined in the Equality Act 2010. While it complements other workforce policies, the passport does not replace or reduce any other policies or processes. The Purple Passport does not replace the COVID-19 risk assessment, but can help facilitate a more in-depth conversation about a health condition or disability. If you have any questions about how to use the passport, please contact the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion team on equality@addenbrooks.nhs.uk. Who can use the Purple Passport? The Purple Passport has been designed to be used by any member of staff who has a visible or hidden disability, physical, neurodiverse or mental health condition. This includes many fluctuating or progressive health conditions, sensory impairments, learning differences and difficulties, and neurodiverse conditions. An individual does not need to have a formal diagnosis to be able to use the Purple Passport as a tool to facilitate a conversation with their line manager. An individual can choose to use the passport at any stage in their time at CUH. If you are a manager, an individual may approach you and request a one-to-one to talk through their Purple Passport, or you might suggest using the passport if you become aware that a member of your team is managing a health condition or disability. This should always be the individual's choice. You can share the guidance for individuals document or this audio guidance with them in advance. Preparing to use the Purple Passport. If you would like to use the Purple Passport yourself, be confident. You are the expert on you and how your health condition or disability impacts you. Your line manager may not know much about your health condition or disability and may feel awkward about not knowing. You can expect them to listen and support you with any adjustments you may need. You can start using the Purple Passport at any time. Ask your manager if you can schedule a one-to-one and let them know you'd like to use the Purple Passport. You can share the guidance for managers with them in advance, or this audio guidance. Take some time to think through what you want to say. Maybe have a practice with a trusted friend or colleague first. Make some notes for each section of the passport. You will want to be able to describe some things briefly so that you can focus on the impact and actions needed. Consider how much information you would like to share with your line manager. There may be aspects of your health condition or disability that don't usually affect work, which could still be useful for your manager to know in case you become unwell at work or to help them understand you better as an individual. You might also want to think about whether you would like to share any information with other colleagues or team members. Be clear about what you would like from the conversation and any changes or adjustments that are needed to support you to perform your role. If you are a line manager and a member of your team would like to use the Purple Passport, make sure you have a good understanding of what the Purple Passport is and how to use it. Schedule a one-to-one somewhere that is quiet, confidential and where you won't be interrupted. Some managers can understandably find themselves feeling nervous before a conversation about a health condition or disability. That's okay. You're not expected to have an in-depth knowledge of any health condition or disability, or to have all the answers. The most important thing you can do is to listen actively and without judgment. The individual in your team is the expert in them as an individual and how their health condition or disability impacts them. Your team member should come to the meeting having thought about what they want to say and with some notes for each section of the passport. Don't be afraid to ask questions to further your understanding, while also respecting that individuals may not want to share everything with you. If you're worried about what language to use or saying the wrong thing, simply ask the individual which terms and phrases they would prefer you to use and make an effort to remember those. If you'd like to develop your skills or build your confidence in active listening and leading inclusively, or expand your knowledge about disability, there are a range of resources available on DOT. After the conversation. As a manager, remember that everything contained in the Purple Passport and discussed in your one-to-one must remain confidential unless the individual has explicitly given permission to share details with anyone else. Permission must be sought before discussing anything in the Purple Passport with other members of the team, the employee relations team, or occupational health. For individuals using the Purple Passport, keep a copy of it and the action plan in a safe place. Take some time to reflect on how the conversation went, whether you said everything you wanted to say. If you have further information to add or you'd like to ask any questions, you can do this at the 4-week review, at regular one-to-ones, or in between. Don't be afraid to prompt your manager to progress any actions within the agreed timescales, although do be understanding that some things may take time and won't happen immediately. Be active on your own behalf and take ownership of any changes you can make. Many health conditions and disabilities change and fluctuate over time. You can come back to your Purple Passport at any time if anything changes with your health condition or disability that you would like to share with your manager. If at any time you change roles or have a new line manager, you can take the passport with you to start a conversation with your new manager, evidence what has been agreed, and ensure any adjustments you need at work continue to be implemented. As a manager, take some time to reflect on how the conversation went and what you have learnt about the member of your team. Review any actions you agreed and progress these as soon as possible, and have a plan for those that might take a bit longer. Schedule a 4-week review where you can check progress on the action plan and ask any further questions you might have about how you can support the individual to manage their health and well-being at work. With agreement from the individual, keep a copy of the Purple Passport and action plan in the individual's personal file. If the file is accessible to multiple people, ensure it is kept in a sealed envelope and marked strictly for the attention of. The passport should be reviewed regularly after the initial 4-week review, as a minimum annually at appraisal, or more often in one-to-ones if required. The passport should also be reviewed if the individual has a significant increase in sickness absence, in order to ensure all required adjustments are in place to support them to stay well at work. Your responsibilities. As an individual, you have a responsibility to acknowledge awkwardness. Your manager may not know much about your health condition or disability and may be nervous about saying the wrong thing. You will be more experienced than them and can help them understand. Appreciate that this may be a new experience for your line manager and acknowledge their efforts. Work with your line manager to implement any adjustments. Make any changes you can without needing permission. Be clear about what you need, actively seek the support you require and take personal responsibility. Acknowledge that your manager may have limited understanding and that it will take time to develop a shared understanding. Encourage open conversations. This is a partnership and you are both working towards the same outcome. As a manager, you have a responsibility to be kind and compassionate, making sure the meeting is safe and supportive. Listen well to what your colleague is telling you and respect that they know themselves and have expertise in their health condition or disability. Encourage feedback from your colleague and respond to it, using that feedback to make improvements. Give energy and time to develop relationships within your team. Carry out any agreed actions and fulfil commitments made to your colleague. Don't pretend to have all the answers. Actively seek further support where needed. Show sensitivity to the needs of others. Encourage colleagues to talk openly and share concerns. And value the perspectives of everyone in your team, recognising that everyone has different strengths and needs. Enact policies, procedures and processes fairly. Step by step, how to complete the Purple Passport. About you. Use this section to complete some basic details about yourself, including what you prefer to be called and which pronouns you use. For example, he, him, she, her, they, them, segs, them. You may wish to nominate a trusted contact at work, a colleague who can support you as you discuss your disability or health condition with your line manager. This isn't mandatory, so only add details if you would find it helpful. Things to know about my health condition or disability. You can choose how much information you're comfortable to share here, and we would encourage an open and honest conversation. The more information you share, the greater an understanding your line manager will have to be able to support you. Use the questions as prompts for things you may wish to tell your manager about your health condition or disability, and don't be afraid to include information that isn't covered by the questions. If your health condition or disability fluctuates or is degenerative, consider if and when you might need further assessments and adjustments. On a good day, on a bad day. Use this section to describe how your health condition or disability affects you on a good day and what this might look like, and how it affects you on a bad day and what this might look like. Things I find helpful. This section gives space for you to tell your manager how you work best and what adjustments you might need. You can use the bullet points as prompts. If I become unwell. It can be helpful for colleagues to know and understand the first signs of you becoming unwell, if this is related to your health condition or disability, and how they can help. You can use the bullet points as prompts. In the event of an emergency evacuation. If you have a health condition or disability that means you have a personal emergency evacuation plan or PEEP, use this space to add in details. Information I would like to share with the team. Consider whether you would like to share any information about your health condition or disability with other colleagues beyond your line manager. This is your choice, and your line manager will keep any information you have shared with them confidential unless you have explicitly agreed otherwise. Additional information. This section includes some prompts about whether you've been referred to occupational health and the status of this if this is needed, whether you are currently under the care of a specialist, and if you need time off to attend appointments during normal working hours, and whether a display screen assessment has been carried out. Additional information and support. If you have any questions about how to use the Purple Passport, please contact the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion team, equality@addenbrooks.nhs.uk. The CUH Purple Network is for everyone with visible or hidden disabilities, physical, neurodiverse or mental health conditions and allies to work together to promote inclusion for everyone at CUH. Allies are people who take an active role in helping CUH become more inclusive for people from particular groups, even if they don't share those characteristics themselves. As a line manager, you can make individuals in your team aware of the Purple Network and ensure that they can attend network meetings in work time wherever operationally possible, as agreed by CUH. You may also wish to join the Purple Network yourself. Being a part of a staff network is a great way of ensuring your voice is heard, having an impact and being a part of positive change across the organisation, as well as being a safe space for staff to share concerns and support each other. Meetings are currently held virtually via Zoom, usually monthly at lunchtimes. However, if you can't get to the meetings, don't let this put you off. You can still be involved and keep in touch remotely, as several of our members do. Contact equality@addenbrooks.nhs.uk to join any mailing lists. If you have any concerns, you can refer these to your manager's manager in the first instance. You can also contact the Employee Relations team, Freedom to Speak Up Guardian, listeners or your trade union representative, and Occupational Health, as well as the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion team. Specialist advice on workplace adjustments or further advice, information and support can be accessed via the Occupational Health team, Moving and Handling team, Mental Health First Aid Lead, Health Assured, NHS People Wellbeing Support, and Access to Work.